I'm going to try to compose myself as best as possible today because I am really, really fuming at the moment. I'm extremely upset about this performance. It's a different case if we played well and we lost, but it was a pathetic performance all around. Very, very embarrassing to be a South African supporter right now because I think from the bowling performance, from the fielding to the batting, everything was poor. We were very close to actually the starting lineup that many of us would have wanted. And I think that we all believe that this particular team could beat Ireland. All due respect to Ireland, but that was an absolutely pathetic performance from South Africa as a whole. And I'm going to start off by talking to you guys about it and speak about where I'm coming from this, because from the start, I mean, when I wrote the piece for the website about our bowling performance, missing the lines, not consistent, a lot of full tosses, wide deliveries, poor all around. Dropped catches from top quality fielders. It's like we didn't come to the party at all. It would be a completely different situation, and if I was sitting here and I said, "Look here, at least we bowled well, or at least we tried and batted well, and we've come up short and we lost to a good team." Congratulations to Ireland because you guys outperformed South Africa in every single department, from fielding to bowling to batting, everything you outperformed us. So I have to say congratulations to that. Our players didn't come to the party. I'm particularly upset, and I'm going to have to use the correct words because I don't want to get this video banned, but I'm upset with the way our senior players performed today. David Miller, Temba Bavuma, Rassie van der Dussen, unlucky, he batted pretty well, I think, with Janneman Malan. Congratulations to Janneman Malan because I think he batted excellently. Unfortunately, lost his wicket in the way that he did. He would be very upset about that. But ultimately, he came to the party and he should be keeping that spot in this particular team, I think, right now. I don't think that anybody should doubt the way he's performed. I watched him against the spinners as well. Yes, the spinners might not have been turning the ball a lot, but I was very impressed with his performance as a whole. So we're going to be doing a review show today. I've got Mpho waiting for me. I've got a teacher waiting for me. I'm not sure if our fourth guy is going to be joining us. We did send him the link, but hopefully he can come on board. We'll be probably very deep into our review from there. So sit back, relax. If you guys are new to this channel, please subscribe. Click the notification bell for all future videos. As you can see, I am very upset, but let's get into this. I'm going to be giving the floor to all of our guys out there. As I said already, we've got Mpho, we've got a teacher, and we've got Aaron waiting for us on the line. So let's get into today's discussion. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host Khalid. This is my co-host Aditya, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with Ireland versus South Africa. Completely embarrassed by this performance, as I said in the intro. I think that overall Ireland played extremely well. I think I have every right to be upset, especially when there's points up for grabs. I mean, we're 11th on the flipping log, and we're sitting over there. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, Ireland's now going to go, I think, into the top 10 now. Pathetic, guys.
Good start to the
absolutely
show.
Absolutely pathetic.
No, absolutely pathetic. No, it's not pathetic. It's not pathetic because that means that there's an expectation of these guys. Well, there is, but Ireland were incredible. Mm-hmm. I was super impressed with the way they played. South Africa came thinking that they could roll them over, and they were comfortable. And in those final 10 overs, Ireland did the business. If you don't take wickets in the middle, this is what you're going to get. This is no longer 2019 cricket. It's 2021 ODI cricket. If a team has 8 wickets in hand coming into the final 10 overs, what do you expect? And that's where you lose the game. And so, yeah, I sit there going, Okay. Yeah,
We
I've
lost
seen
the
this team
game when
do
we
this
walked
before.
onto this field today. We lost this game when we walked onto this field today. There was no effort. There was no like I didn't see any energy from any of the players. The amount of fielding errors, the running around in the boundary, the way they were, the entire performance was flat, man. Like completely flat. And you can't be telling me that that's conditions why we bowled so poorly, because there was a lot
No,
of full tosses, a lot of wide deliveries. We were completely hammered. The way our slow island started, they should have never even scored 290. That was my
no,
point
they
in the
shouldn't
first
have.
place.
They had no right to do so. But we gave them that opportunity because they had 8 wickets in hand. They could do this. And my thing is that if you, as you say, we've lost the ball when we came in, when we started this game, when these drop catches were happening, cricket is such a long game. You can change your fate in the middle of the game. It's not like it's rugby or soccer where you've got 2 hours, and sometimes if you're flat, you can be flat for the entire 2 hours. They could have changed it, but they chose not to. That's the big problem. And that's the problem about this side. I don't know what's going on, but we've now we've gone back 6 months. We're now where we were when England arrived in South Africa early last year, and we got smacked by them. And then somehow, somewhere, some English guys wanted to play golf, and they broke the bubble and they ran away. But that's where we've literally we've now gone back. We can't even go. You can't even say we've gone back past Pakistan, because at least with Pakistan we're respectable. This isn't respectable. But Ireland, it managed the home comforts, they managed the home conditions. They were just so good. Harry Tector managing to score that 79 after getting hit in the head by Anuk Nokia. And yeah, like for me, it smacks of arrogance. It smacks of undermining Ireland. There's a reason why we have, I think, is it 13 teams in the Super League now? There is a reason why, and you saw it today. And if Ireland make it to the World Cup, this is the series that gets them that extra push. And
Bro, they lost to Netherlands, man. They lost to Netherlands.
Yes, they did.
That's what
but
irritates.
they're back on
And
track.
what irritates me is that we haven't even afforded the privilege of being arrogant. We don't even or confident in that matter. We need to be fully focused. I must go on boot camp. That's what they must do, and get a full-on focus. And all they must think about is cricket and watch cricket videos all day. That's what they should be doing to get focused, because there's something lacking. The players on this field today had what it takes to be able to beat Ireland. There's no doubt about that in my mind. The guys that we selected, these are guys that we've been calling for. Dropping Quinton de Kock or resting Quinton de Kock shouldn't have bothered us, because Milan put it on a Quinton de Kock performance today, ultimately. So that's not the issue over here. David Miller should never be playing like this, man. And I'm not going after only David Miller here. It's a lot of other players as well that should have performed better. But I'm saying David needs to step up every single time he walks into this field. He's now a senior player. And I get irritated with players like Timba Bavuma needs to come to the bloody party. Their captain scored a century. Aditya, you haven't said anything yet. And I'm going to get to Aaron, because Aaron's obviously quite happy, but also not happy. So he's in the middle ground over here.
Yeah.
So Aditya, what is your thoughts of this?
First off, congratulations to Ireland. They fully deserved to win this game. And they put on a clinical show. They've shown us that they're a tough team, and they're not to be underestimated. In saying that, I agree with you completely. I think South Africa should be terribly embarrassed for the performance that they've put on today. And if you really look at the numbers today, a more experienced team would have scored 350 with that sort of bowling performance. So Ireland getting to 290 was fantastic given their slow start, but a more experienced team in ODI cricket would have definitely scored 340, 350. So that's a reflection of where South Africa's bowling performance was at today. Ireland were perhaps a bit conservative. South Africa's batting and just the batting strategy was appalling. And I can't think of another word, simply because they treated 290 as if it were 350. And these days, you simply have to be more clinical. Aiden Markram's shot showed that there wasn't a lot of faith in the game plan or the fact that the lower order could pull off a victory. It's it's testament to the fact that players don't seem to have faith in each other's abilities. Because there was no reason for Aiden Markram to play that shot that early. Yesterday, Andile Pekluk-Wayo said in his audio that the first 10 overs are the toughest to bat. If that's the case, then South Africa should have been more circumspect in the first 10 overs and then launched after that. And again, I'm going to obsess over this, but I don't understand why South Africa cannot rotate strike better. Today in 47 overs, we're talking about 149 dot balls, and it just drives me crazy that, yes, 149 dot balls. We're talking
You
about
serious?
Yes.
Oh, my word.
And the reason I said that Ireland should have scored 340, 350 is because they played 151 dot balls in their 50 overs. But the fact of the matter is that they also scored 65 runs in their last 5 overs. So I don't want to say they make up. I don't want to say they made up for it, but they had some sort of consolation there towards the end with some clean hitting. But with South Africa, there is absolutely no excuse for not rotating strike. And they simply have to get better at it because they're showing no improvement on that front since the Pakistan series. So I hope there's some sort of work going on there because against more experienced teams, against more clinical teams, this sort of performance is certainly not going to fly.
I'm just going to throw in a disclaimer here quickly before Cricket Fanatics magazine starts getting messages from people that are upset about the way I reacted. Remember that the views are the ones of the panelists and not of Cricket Fanatics magazine as a company. We all have our own opinions. We are fans of the game. We are allowed to be upset about this performance. And if you tell me any other way, I don't know.
No, but because we are allowed to embrace the darkness. As long as you don't swear, that's okay. Yeah. But I am tired.
It's very difficult. I'm holding myself back here.
No, and Aaron can attest to this because we've been doing this for the past 2 years now. We've been saying the same thing over and over and over again. What's the plan? Yep. Like I said, even before the series started, I was like, I'd like to see how this team is going to build an innings of 300. Because that's the benchmark right now in international cricket. Isn't that? Right now, Pakistan scored 331 against England. And so I'm sitting here going, if this is how you guys want to do it, then we're not going anywhere. We're playing 2019 cricket. It's like I'm back at the World Cup with the same kids. Yes, there's that Irish channel in 2020 between Ireland and the UK. It might as well be the same thing because, quite frankly, we might as well just drop them in the UK and be like, hey, let's rewind the clock. Because that's what it was today. Our bowling can never bail you out.
Yeah. Aaron, before we get to you, I've got a buy in the back end of here because he went to the Temba press conference, so he can actually give us some insight into what Temba had to say. So I just want to hear what Temba had to say. Abai, welcome to the show, bro. What did they say in the press conference? What was the excuses?
All right. So do you want me to start with the bowling or the batting?
The start. Both were poor.
All right. So yeah, I'm just going to read this out. So we were totally outplayed in all areas. We were not able to strike early in the innings. We failed to create enough opportunities. Throughout the innings, we could not exploit the conditions. There was a time when we had the run rate in check, but they ended up getting 100 from the last 10 overs. Next up, we didn't click on the field. Their fielding was a lot better. As far as the batting is concerned, Janneman did a great job to score 84, but aside from Rassi van der Dissen, he failed to get proper support from the other end. Drop catches will make the existing situation much harder. Their captain went on to score a century, so our fielding was quite poor today, and we aim to bounce back stronger the next game. As far as death bowling is concerned, it has not been consistent at all. We've had conversations about this, and these conversations have to produce results. And by the way, these are the lads we trust. There are others who are on the sidelines who possess the same skills. And the outcome today seems to suggest that the guys on the sidelines could get a game next time around. Bowling short and wide was not the plan today. And even though I'd like to give the bowlers the benefit of the doubt, mistakes have been happening more frequently than expected, and we'll have to fix that going forward.
You know how sorry I feel for Boucher in this moment. Like the guy said over there what made it even worse is that decision not to run when there was a no ball between Keshav and KG for a senior international batsman to make a mistake like that, or international player to make a mistake like that. No, but guy, come on now, man.
They'll know, but no, I don't blame. The game was lost.
Those kids from the local island club, they knew that rule. The whole team, island team knew. Curtis Camphor knew the rule. He was a South African under 19 player.
There it is.
Curtis Camphor cannot get a thanks for coming award after that.
Man. The only happiness I'm getting here is when I see tweets about Varane coming to United, and then I get happy because that's the only happiness I can get right now here. Look here, Aaron. Ireland, take it away, brother, because first and foremost, well done to Ireland. They played professionally. Everything that they did, bowling, batting, apart from that no ball, everything else was brilliant from them. I don't have anything to say about it. I mean, maybe they could have played the spin a little better, but our spinners bowled well. But other than that, they took their chances. South Africa gave them freebies, and they took it, because sometimes there are a lot of batsmen, like we don't take freebies. Sometimes we go out on freebies. So we've seen that in the past. So, I mean, in this particular case, I think Ireland just played well all around.
Well, they did, exactly. And first and foremost, I mean, we have to give a tremendous shout out to every single one of those Irish players. This is a historic moment in Irish cricket. It's the first time they've ever beaten the Proteas in the one-day format. It is an outstanding achievement. And to a man, each and every single one of them was absolutely exceptional. Now, we've already spoken about attitude and belief and confidence. One thing which I think is always a good barometer for measuring a side's self-belief, confidence, want to win a game, is the fielding. And you look at the Irish team today, they were absolutely launching themselves all over the field, saving quick ones, quick twos. George Dockwell in particular, absolutely phenomenal in terms of getting to the ball nice and early, a bit like Jadeja does in terms of cutting the angle down and being a phenomenal fielder, not preventing these ones and twos. Another great piece of fielding was that by Curtis Camphor. What a fantastic piece of presence of mind to understand the rule, realise it. He had the ball, he was going to throw it to the bowler's end. He saw the signal from Lorcan Tucker, gets it in, and it's a run out. And I know that obviously the game was slipping at that particular moment, but it was a great bit of fielding. I must admit, in a pretty poor way to get out from South Africa. Pretty much summed up the performance today, to be honest, by the Proteas. When I listened to that stats from Aditya, and that is an absolutely, outstanding stat, first of all, Aditya, for you to find that, but it's also a terrifying stat. The fact that between both sides, you've basically got 50 overs worth of dot balls, that's something that both sides need to work on. But in particular with South Africa, they just were not able to really structure that innings today well at all. They just couldn't. It was all over the place. I mean, you had that fantastic partnership between Milan and Rassie van der Dusen, and then as soon as those two went, it just completely went. There wasn't a plan B, a plan C, probably wasn't even a plan W, X, Y, Z, to be honest. It completely fell out the window. And something that myself and Poe have discussed, and again, I feel like a broken record. I say it once every 2-3 shows, but identity. And I really am fed up with using this word, because we're in 2021. I started coming on this show and this channel in 2019 in the England series, and I keep on banging on about it. Where is South Africa's identity in terms of batting or bowling? Where is it? What is it? I look at this team and I don't understand how they can manufacture wins series in, series out. Not like England, for example, not like India, for example, even Ireland. With Ireland, you know they're going to rely on the spinners. They're going to try and get some runs early with the likes of Sterling. Porterfield, who's injured today. You didn't even have to face William Porterfield. Guys like Balbirnie as well, Tector, Camphor. There is a real identity and energy about the Ireland side. They may not have the same skill or quality or calibre as South Africa in terms of the actual personnel, but they have an identity. You know how they're going to win games. And the problem with this Proteas outfit, yet again, and we're sat here in 2021, how do they win games? Honestly, can anybody answer that to me? Any of you guys, anyone in the comments? Because for me, I just look at it and it is a case of game by game, let's just try and play some cricket. But we don't have a set game plan to win the game and seal a series.
Aaron, the only way South Africa wins a game is if somebody in that top 6 has an incredible game, or in that 11 actually. You need someone to have
individual
an incredible game. Yes, and they're not playing like a team. Today there are no wickets falling. There's nothing. The game is literally the game was stagnant. South Africa's game was stagnant in the middle overs. Yes, they were containing, and that's the other thing in cricket is this thing of no, we need to contain runs when you need to prevent sides from putting 290 on you when they're 100 and God knows what 190 in the last 10 overs. Take wickets. Look to take wickets in the middle overs. Be more aggressive in the field. Be more attacking. But no, we just want to let the game meander. What is that? And then also this, and with Aaron, I'm with you there. I don't get how. Yes, Mark's told us he's going to play a 6-5 split. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That's okay. Then tell me how we're going to get 300 runs in 50 overs. Mm-hmm. Then lay out the game plan, because right now I don't see it. I think 150 for 2 after 30 overs is what you kind of need to put up that 300 plus. You can go from there to 360 if you manage it well. But because we don't bat deep, some of these guys need to bat until over 40. What are the roles? What's the identification? If you're going to bat until over 40, and we'll find it 150 for 2 after 30, try and just take it deeper. So then, Yanaman, that shot to our corner can't happen. Obviously, Rassie missed a straight one, and there's nothing we can do about that one. But David Miller and Kyle Verreynne, were they told what their roles are supposed to be? David Miller kind of gave us that, and then he kind of fell into the trap with Andile. From over 35, we're 174. You need to take it to over 45 and see what you're going to have left there, and then try and attack. None of these, I was okay with South Africa taking singles here and there up until over 42. I was okay with that because I was like, okay, fine, we're taking it deep. But this team, it's like they're devoid of thinking. I don't know. And Mark's going to sit there. Mark's going to sit there and say, no, we had a bad day out. No, the guys are. But there comes a point in time where if what you're saying as a coach isn't going in, then maybe are you the right man for the job? Because you've told us many years ago, no, we want to be aggressive. We want to be aggressive. That was not aggressive today. It wasn't aggressive on Sunday in that first innings. We let the innings go by like we did. We're just lucky that we got a few wickets in the hut before the final 10 overs, but we probably would have ended up in the same spot. And so, I am just tired of doing this, because right now there's only one team that can win the series, and it's not South Africa.
What's even crazier is that we're coming off this high from the West Indies series, beating the world champions. The confidence should be flowing through our veins. We should be walking into that field with the confidence that takes us to a next level. Look here, we've got a caller. I have to apologize to him that the first time he's meeting me now, it's a debutant, so the first time he's meeting me, we're all upset. But welcome to the show. I just would like to hear your thoughts on this particular game. I'm fuming. I mean, a lot of people would have seen that in the intro and in my opening statement. But
you sure, Khalid?
I'm not actually sure.
I thought you were nice and cool and composed.
I'm so happy. Oh my word, I'm so happy.
Seen it.
Jeez, yeah. So, Yashad, is that how I pronounce your name, right?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, cool. Just give me your thoughts on this particular match and how you're feeling as a Proteas fan right now.
Sure. Yeah. First, thanks for inviting me on here. It's quite great to be a caller. Always watch the show. Nice to be here for once. Been listening to a lot of the points, and I think a lot of the sentiment has been echoed. The point that I wanted to make, and it's really close tied into what Mpo said earlier on about motivation. And I think that is the one stark thing that's missing from the Proteas team that I can see. Maybe I sound like a nostalgic guy harping back to 10 years ago, but I always felt that South Africa, one of our best traits was we always had this never say die attitude. We always had this motivation of never giving up, and we could be 150 for 6, and we knew we could still get to 250, for example. Right now, it feels that the guys have a sort of plan A, and once that doesn't work out, it's sort of the shoulders shrug, and we sort of meander through the rest of the innings. And that has happened quite a lot with the batting in the last 2 years, a little bit occasionally with the bowling, but mainly with the batting, especially in the middle order. My question then is someone like Mark Boucher not only from a technique kind of coach, but from a motivation? Does he have the capabilities to motivate this team? It doesn't really look like it's happening. It doesn't really look like it's happening. And with the World Cup around the corner, I'm not sure how we remedy this in time.
I have an idea. Ashwell Prince was batting consultant for the Bangladesh national team in Zimbabwe. Mamadullah scored, I don't know how many runs he scored in that game, in his final game. And to a certain extent, that's what you probably needed to do. Get a batting consultant in there. Who's your batting consultant? Oh, by the way, I forget, it's Mark Boucher. So, I don't know. I know Neil McKenzie's like the batting guru over the whole of South African cricket, but get somebody in there who's been a batsman. And it's fine if he's a franchise coach. What are the franchise coaches doing now? Nothing. Get them on tour. And for me, that's where I kind of feel like it's a closed system in that coaching group. It's Mark and Enoch and Charles and that's it. And obviously the fielding coach, Justin Ontong, and that's it. But we need to try something different with this batting. We need somebody to do something like, for me today, David Miller needs a rest. I'm done with David Miller. He needs to rest. We can't be playing him into form. We cannot be playing him into form. We've tried it. It doesn't work. Lungi is resting. He should rest for a little bit longer. Andile needs more games. That shot he played today is a man who hasn't played cricket in 3 months. He's been on the beach in the Caribbean. Okay, in the bubble in the Caribbean. But yeah, so what are we expecting to get from our number 7? It's just baffling that from an opportunity perspective, you could have given guys who haven't played cricket in a while that opportunity, and they probably would have done a little bit better than the guys who are here. And I think that's my frustration. Had you played Lazard Williams instead of one of your quicks, you probably would have gotten that energy from Lazard, because he needs an opportunity and he hasn't gotten one. And so I think it goes down to Mark. I just look at Mark today and I'm like, dude, what must happen now?
We pick teams, like we world champions. Like seriously, people are like undroppable. No, people must be undroppable, but people must be droppable in this team, including the captain. And I'm talking about the captain as well, because at this particular stage, we need performances from even Temba. It's got to get to that stage. I mean, if this was, Sia Khaleesi, if this was anybody else, a captain in a team, they would have gotten criticized. World-class players, if you not perform, you need to perform. And at the end of the day, it's against Ireland. And I'm not trying to demean Ireland, to say it like that, but I'm not saying that Ireland's a crap team, but we should beat Ireland. And Aaron, you know that.
Deep down,
again, you know that. And so my point is this. What I'm upset about is not the loss. It's more the approach to this particular game. The energy was lacking. And where we were poor, on what positions in the field. Aditya, we wanted to do a combined stream today about Faf du Plessis and saying happy birthday to the king. And happy birthday to Faf du Plessis. I don't really want to bring that positivity into this negative chat, because this is going to throw us all off. We were going to talk about our favorite performances. Maybe we should do a show tomorrow on that alone, Aditya. It depends. We'll see what happens. But gee whiz, guys, I'm completely done.
But since you're talking about Faf, sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
That's positive.
But since you're talking about Faf du Plessis, it is an indication, like today's performance and perhaps South Africa's performances over the last year are indications of just how valuable Faf du Plessis was as a number 3 player for South Africa, and the contribution that he's made. It often goes sort of unnoticed because of what AB de Villiers has done, and as a result, he's a bit underrated. But you look at his numbers. Only Ross Taylor, Virat Kohli, and Rohit Sharma have made more runs than Faf du Plessis since 2017. And at this point, Temba needs to be replicating those performances. He needs to have similar numbers if he's batting at number 3 and wants to be that rock in this batting order. Because just as we were talking, I was looking at scores from the South Africa-Sri Lanka series in 2017, and virtually every single game, making 320, 330. And now South Africa is struggling to get to those scores. So obviously something has gone wrong, and the ODI template has sort of regressed over time. So there certainly needs to be a lot of soul searching to be done there.
That is actually a great point as well, Aditya, because when you think of the best teams in the world at the moment as well, look who they have at number 3. Every single one of them have solid, reliable, dependable number 3s. England have Joe Root, New Zealand have Kane Williamson, India have Virat Kohli. It is a good point, and we can't just scapegoat players. Okay, we can't just keep on picking out names and, not criticising the captain as well. Of course, you have to criticise everyone equally. This is Temba's team now. I know that he is very, very inexperienced, and that that does go in his favour, of course. And we do need to give him time. We said it when he was announced captain. We can't just pile on the pressure on Temba. But at some point, he is also a batsman. He's not just there to captain. It's not like Darren Sammy, for example, who's an experienced veteran and can afford to do that in franchise cricket. He is an integral part of this team. We've just mentioned it there. The best teams in the world have dependable number 3 batsmen. He needs to do his job as well. It's as simple as that. But just before we also, kind of wrap things up and everything, can I just say one final thing about Ireland and one bowler in particular? Josh Little, absolutely brilliant. 2 for 45 Excellent. From 10 overs. I said he'd be a danger man, him and Mark Adair. They did do well, so thank you, boys. Thank you for that performance. But he was so good. So good. That left arm angle, causing all sorts of problems, good short balls, and Mark Adair's changed the pace as well. Absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, I think I'll probably leave that segment on that, but well played, Ireland. Thoroughly deserving winners.
I'm going to give a bye and Aditya some final words, please.
Oh, right. Oh, forgot to unmute. Okay, so one question I had from Paul was if Miller's so out of form and if you're going to switch him out, I would assume you're going to bring in Quinton de Kock and then everyone else below him shifts down a position. So and before I'm done, I've got one more thing to share from the presser. When he was asked about the balance of the side, Temba said that we're trying to manage Quinton's workload, and Yaneman's a guy who's done a great job in the ODIs he's played so far. We've seen that in the most recent games that Lungi and Giddy's speeds were lower than usual, so we decided to arrest him on this occasion. But yeah, what do you say? And so Paul, what do you say about playing 11? Was I right?
So I think we need to rest Miller. So take Miller out that 11. Aiden has to bat at 4. Yeah. So I think that's the only way we can balance it. It's either you bring someone in to take Miller out. So I don't want to drop Aiden.
Temba and Aiden, top 4?
Yes, Yaneman, okay. Quinton, Temba, and Aiden. Rassie at 5 is a little bit too low, but for a one game, I'd bat Rassie at 5. Or you swap Rassie and Aiden and let Aiden and just tell Aiden, because he can strike the ball a little bit better, that in the final 15 overs he can come in and do that with Carl Verena. The other thing would be you take Aiden out the side, you give Heinrich Klaassen an opportunity, because Heinrich has batted there before for South Africa and he's done quite well in those final 10 overs. So give him an opportunity. I know a lot of people don't like the Ginger Nation, but it's going to have to be at 5 and 6. But and so for me, maybe even George Linda, I think George at 6 in international cricket is a little bit too high for him, but there is an opportunity. The other thing is we might need to replicate what Ireland are doing. Ireland are getting you, I think, 25 overs of spin in this innings. So you kind of need to try and replicate that, maybe get George Linda in there and break up that partnership between KG and Anna, because it's not working. So try to figure out a way. So for me, that top 6, you can play around with it, but it's either you take Aiden out the side and you bring in Heinrich at 6, or you drop Aiden to 5 and Carl bats at 6. But the way Carl went out today was disappointing, because you needed him to take the innings deep. Like when you're in a hole at over 35 and you've only got 2 batsmen, it's only the 2 of you left. You need to take the innings as deep as possible. Ireland weren't bowling grenades. They were just landing the ball, and South Africa were mistiming it like they didn't care. So for me, that's something that we need to do going forward, or consider.
One thing I forgot to mention was I can really relate to your comment about Lazard Williams, Bo. So weirdly enough, he actually was our best bowler in the home T20 series against Pakistan, but he didn't get even one game in the T20 series against the West Indies, which I find really strange. I think it's good to back players that have been doing well, even if that series didn't go so well. So I hope he can get a game in the third ODI. If he doesn't, then I think he should play all the T20s, because I think he could be a viable depth bowling option. I'm not necessarily saying that he's a sure starter in the T20 team, but he's done more than enough to be part of the conversation heading into the big tournament.
Yeah, and his selection has nothing to do with transformation, because he will suit the transformation plans 100%.
He's earned his spot.
Exactly. So, like, if people want to use that, they can't use that as an excuse. They must stop using it as an excuse. But Aditya, there's a question here from Dex. It was a super chat. Thanks a lot for the super chat. Hi. Anyway, so please, guys, anyone answer this to me? Does the place of AB de Villiers or Faf du Plessis ever come into question on the basis of their batting when they were the captain?
My simple answer to that question would be, look at AB de Villiers and Faf du Plessis' record when they were captain and as batsmen. AB de Villiers was averaging in the mid-60s as ODI captain, and his strike rate was close to 110. His average strike rate was 110. And like I said, I don't have Faf du Plessis' ODI stats as captain, but let's not forget he's led South Africa to 5-0 victory against Australia at home, and he, like I said, he's scored more runs than anyone except for Virat, Ross Taylor, and Rohit Sharma since 2017. He's averaging 60. So there's no question that these guys were phenomenal batters.
Yeah.
Sorry, you saying something?
The thing about this, Dex, is that we didn't ask for Timber to be captain. In the captain conversation, nobody asked for Timber to be captain of the ODI side. It was we didn't see it. We didn't see it come. It came from Graham, it came from Mark, it came from and they need to explain. They explained to us that he's a great leader and everything else, and that's fine. And I think Timber does deserve a run I thought Timber was going to get a run like everybody else in the T20 and the ODI side as a player, to see if he earned a spot to the World Cup, because we were wondering who's going to open the batting, and also the 23 World Cup, because everyone thinks because you're 33 you can't play cricket anymore. So they were thinking that Timber shouldn't be at the World Cup. So the question that we need to ask is, why did Mark Barchin and the guys pick Timber as captain? And probably on leadership. But the issue here is that he does need to, it's reading the game. The game situation today, when he came in on over 10, needed someone to bat the full 50 overs. We've been crying about anchors this, anchors that in T20 and saying they don't exist. They exist in ODI cricket. Had we just had a senior player to walk around Miller, Petlugwayo, Verena, we would have won this game. Because that person would have been like on 100, the strike would have been rotating, and that works into Timber's ambit as a limited overs player. He rotates the strike best in this team. He plays spin best in this team. And today he went out to a loose shot. I don't know what the pressure was in the power play. I think the South Africans have this game plan all wrong. And I think it might even go back to the whole aggressive play. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. They was just always wanted to put Ireland under so much pressure that they were playing loose shots instead of just saying you can put them under pressure. Because it's cricket, you can put teams under pressure with time. If you are in there for a very long time, guys try to start doing stupid things to try and get you out. And those loose balls are the ones that you can put away for 4. But that never happened today from 1 until 6. I think Yanaman did quite well doing that. But he, in the end, didn't want to carry on. He then goes and holds out. So for me, that's where this team comes in. It's that you need to start giving. I think you need to dumb it down and say, number 1 and number 2, fine, yes, you can attack the power play. That's okay. But one of you needs to face 100 and 120 balls, right? Whoever's in needs to carry on. It doesn't matter what's going on. Just carry on. And you need to give everyone specific roles, because right now it's just like, oh, no, guys, just go and be aggressive. Just go and be aggressive. Yeah. And it's failing. So yeah, I don't know, but Mark needs
There's
to
no
fix this.
point in bullying teams if you can't win the game. Ultimately, no matter how you play the game, the point is you gotta win. You gotta rack up wins.
Find
It's
stability
like playing
first.
chess. It's like playing
Consistency.
chess. You can't always wait for the other team to make a mistake. Sometimes you'll have to do something bold to invite the mistake.
Maybe they should play chess instead of Call of Duty.
Oh wow! Here's a stat. South Africa have now now lost 10 consecutive ODIs, chasing a 290 plus target. They haven't chased down 290 plus since 2016.
So the batting issues in this country has been happening for a long time, guys. We must also remember that. I don't want us to blame specific players. It's everybody's fault as a collective over here. Boucher came in with promise that he was going to change that. I was really hoping that that's the side of the game that we were going to improve on, because I backed KG and Andrich naturally as bowlers and their mindset to be able to carry this team with regards to the ball, and that they learned enough from Otis Gibson when he took over. I thought that would carry over, but our batting has been just as poor as it was back then. So I don't know what we need to do in a way. Guys, we need to wrap this up. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks a lot for the continued support. Guys, there's 50 people watching the stream live at the moment. I want to see 50 likes on this video, so smash that like button, please. Also, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. We have it's a weird thing. So we have some joy tomorrow because we're bringing out our magazine. So it's all on Test cricket, and it's a nice break from the rest of this that's happening currently. So we'll be able to take you guys out of it and hear what some experts have to say of the game and legends of the game, what they have had to say about this particular that particular format. So guys, please subscribe to the magazine. Click the link on the screen or in the description. It is available there. Everything's free, 100%. All the back issues as well. It's just something that we want to bring to you as a collective to show you our appreciation to you guys. So thanks a lot to everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with a daily show. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your evening, and yeah, see you guys very, very soon. Take care.